His love is the law. He say, if you love me, do what?
Keep my commandments.
He that say he loved me and keep not my commandments is a what? Is a liar. So how you going to a doctrine tomorrow to say that this is done away with? There's laws of everything. There's laws of gravity, laws of physics, laws of this land. But you telling me God has no law? You can get willy-nilly. All you got to do is holler, I'm saved.
And he said, if you continue in my word,
if you
continue in my word.
How you gonna know what's right and wrong if there's no law? How you gonna walk the walk of Christ if there's no law? We're not talking about the law of Aaron, of the old priest, you sacrificing turtle doves. We don't do that. We're talking about Christ is under the Melchizedek order, the everlasting priesthood of conscious spirituality that you decipher right and wrong in your mind before you put your hand to do it. Because we can hide under the law of Aaron, same 613 laws, but we move in priesthood. Under Aaron, if you had 2 turtle doves, you can commit the same sin all the time because that's all it requires. You do is get 2 turtle doves and you correct it. I got all them 2 turtle dove sinners in myself. I'll be like, just bag that truck up. Beep, loaded with turtle doves. It's going to be home tonight. No, we have to push that out. Hell, Muslims don't eat pork. But why don't they do it? That's what we have to understand. What's the spiritual level of it? Anybody cannot eat something.
They eat other stuff. They eat catfish and everything else though.
That's what we're talking about. You have to understand pork, not eating pork is not going to get us into the kingdom. The kingdom is not about meats and drink. You have to understand it's obedience. Don't eat it. Plain and simple. We ain't got to discuss a chicken got 3 bellies and chew this and that. We ain't got to discuss that. It's in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14. You put this fuel in this body. If you put this fuel in there, it's going to run like a car that needs 93 and you put some 87 in there or got some poured it out of lawnmower that's left over and then put it in your tank. Watch how the car runs. You put this bad fuel in that, you're going to run the same way and run to the creature and ask him for help. And what's the first thing he do? He gives you the dying of the Lord. Here.
Way off the point.
Way off
That's the first thing you say.
Because
if you can't do it, I'm going to give you this medicine. Because you got high blood pressure from that bad fuel. Well, this high blood pressure medicine gonna stop you from having a heart attack. Well, when you keep taking that medicine, now you got water problems. So I got to give you a water pill so you can pee because it's a diuretic. Well, this water pill will make your arm do this. So now I got to give you this pill, a potassium pill, because you wash all of the potassium out of your body with this water pill. And when the potassium is gone, then it makes your heart cramp up and you have a heart attack anyway. So I have to give you a potassium pill. Now you got a whole bag of pills when all you have to do is follow Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14. And then you got to decide if I'm going to eat or get my medicine. Because I don't want to quit with the bad fuel. Let's read some more.
And Paul told us in Galatians 5:9, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. Which brings us back to that 2 John verse 8.
Let's get it.
Look to yourselves that we lose not those things which we have wrought. Which wrought meaning earned. But we receive a full reward. Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ hath not God. He that abideth in the doctrine of Christ, he has both the Father and the Son.
The doctrine or the teachings of Christ.
That's right.
More than just I love the Lord. The doctrine or the teachings of Christ. He the one that got the Father.
Now we don't get into linguistics either. Like the other Hebrew Israelite camp. Y'all understand this? Because we know we Hebrew. There's other groups out there that know they Hebrew. There's a group over in the Dimona Desert right now, following a man by the name of Ben Carter. Used to be a bus driver out of Chicago. Told him Gabriel came and talked to him and told him he's Christ. He's over there now, but chaos is going on over there. It's pedophilia going on. They've been over there 30 years and still ain't got citizenship yet. They on a B1 visa. They're in worse shape than we was here in this nation in 1940. Over there. In little tin shacks with electric cars running from field to field. You saying this the kingdom of heaven that we reading about in Revelation?
Right, where the streets of gold.
Where the streets of gold. Where the sickness at? They got death over there. And then you got
swapping, they taking wire.
Wrong way, been wrong way. That scoundrel down in Florida, they call him Ben Yahweh. Cutting off white folks' ears. Y'all have to understand that when you tell somebody you're an Israelite, you have to eliminate those groups first, or they're going to lump you in the same group with them. You have to say, I am talking about the Jesus or the Yeshua that's sitting on high. That's mentioned in Acts 2nd chapter. That's mentioned in Isaiah 9. This Christ. Because first time called Elijah Muhammad. Jesus Christ. David Koresh was called Jesus Christ. Joseph Smith is called Jesus Christ. So when we talk about Jesus, we want to hear the words you speak behind the name. Or you quoting the black man guy. Okay, you talking about a different Jesus. You quote Joseph Smith. Oh, you talking about the Mormons. You talking about the Watchtower. Oh, you talking about Charles Cass Russell, who was a 33rd degree Mason.
Founder of Jehovah's Witness.
You really, that's the Jesus? No, we're talking about these 66 books. And any of the other books that mention that do not violate the law. That's the Christ we talking about. Wasn't no J in the alphabet. Wasn't no E, A, I, O, and U either. It's about what's inside of you and his words. Christ said they call me Beelzebub.
Right.
But if I do the work of the Lord, then I turn down Satan's house.
Right.
So it ain't about calling on a name specifically, because all of these are titles. Ain't no name in the Bible nothing other than a title. Christ said, I'm going to tell you my name on the day of judgment. And I'm going to give you a new name. You be no longer known as Black Robert. What Black Robert? Black Robert working in the tire shop. No, you have a new name. That Christ knows you out.
Which brings us concluding with this verse 10.
Go ahead.
If there come any unto you,
right,
and bring not this doctrine,
right,
receive him not into your house.
Oh, sound rude.
Neither bid him Godspeed.
And we can't even bid him Godspeed. They come in your house with another doctrine. You can't say God be with you. He come in there with another God talking about Allah, which is the moon God. This is why the crescent moon and the star is always on their hat. Allah is the moon God. Roman Catholicism, why the Pope always got a sun around, that's how it's sun God worship. Wrong. That's why it's practiced on Sunday.
Right.
That's the first day of the week.
Not the Sabbath, the seventh day of the week.
Right.
Every calendar in America, all over the world, Sunday is the first day of the week.
I'll tell you the truth. They let it be.
So we're not to worship ordinances according to Deuteronomy 4th chapter. No ordinance worship. The ordinance follow the law of God. Where we at?
Receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. For he that biddeth him Godspeed is partaker of his evil deeds.
Y'all have to understand, if somebody come to your house talking about another God other than the God of Abraham,
you gotta get up out of her.
You can't bid him Godspeed. Godspeed means saying God be with you. When they came in over their doctrine, they think they have made a leeway with you. You got to look, partner. I understand what you're saying, but look, we're serving the God of Abraham out there. Where's the prophecy in this book? Where does it talk about we're being in the condition we're in and why we're in this position and the redeeming of this power? Where is it in your book? Well, it's not real. Get to it. You got time for that. Now, if you want to hear the good workings of this word, the everlasting life, then we can sit down and rap. But you can't come in here talking to me about some man that give orders to other men that silence men. How you gonna silence me and we both sinners?
Right.
You shall not speak to the media. You shall not say anything. I have grounded you. How you gonna cut him off from God?
Like that one preacher we had.
Yeah. Silence.
Yeah, silence. So I silence him. I speak over him. I'm above him.
We looking at him, we're like, what you talking about?
Right.
But the bottom line is because there's respect to person. Job chapter 32 verse 21-22 says, I have respect to person, Christ will take the breath out of my body.
And they try to use
32 verse 21-22.
They try to use 1 Thessalonians on that too. You know what I'm saying? Know ye not those that labor among you that are over you.
Right.
They try to use that and twist it all up.
He tells you though, only use them as examples.
As examples, right?
Not as to worship. But let's move on. But this is what I want to tell you, bro. You asked about Enoch, about Noah being born in the book of Enoch. Is in the chapter 105 in the book of Enoch, and it just reads it. After a time, my son Methuselah took a wife for his son Lamech, and she became pregnant by him and brought forth a child, and the flesh of which was as white as snow and red as a rose, and the hair of his head was white like wool, and long and his eyes were beautiful when he opened them and illuminated all the house. So it scared his daddy. He thought he was a child of one of them angels that was taking women back in the day and have jobs. His daddy said, that ain't my baby. But he had to come, no, that's your child. He's just going to do some wondrous work for the Lord. So that's now I'll tell you about the book of Enoch. Let's move on. Where we at now?
We're in Daniel. The book of Daniel chapter 10.
We finish that 5 and 6. What did we get to? Daniel chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. We got about 20 minutes, y'all. We'll be calling it a day. Y'all help yourself to some of you drink over there.
Daniel chapter 10. We just did chapter 7. Chapter 10. Verse 5 and 6. Another description of Christ.
And understand this, y'all, when we speak of other doctrines, we're not talking about any individual personally, because they're still a brother of Israel. It's just the fact they have to get off that part. They're leading us to another God. The scripture tells us, if your brother, if your sister, if your mother tell you to worship any other God, it's most I say cut them off. If you don't hate your mother or your brother more than you love me, you're not worthy of me, says Christ. And he don't mean hate like we hate. Ain't no player hate. Christ means to love less. You have to love your parents less than Christ. You have to. Christ made them. So why are you going to look at them more than the Father? You can't call on them in the time of death, can you?
Yeah, you're going to read that.
What we going to read?
We're going to read that Matthew 10 about father and mother and all that. Matthew 10.
We just going to read what I spoke of. And y'all have to understand, when the Most High tell us not to hate, it's because we play to hate. We hate somebody in our hearts. Can't stand it. I wish he would. Be the last one in my part. Can't stand black mother. No, the Most High ain't never hated like that. And he don't want us hating like that. Loving less, his hate means to love less. His hate is like heat. The absence of heat gives you what? Cold. So things move to different levels. We can't hate on them levels, y'all. Because we have to repent every day.
Read Matthew chapter 10, verse 32.
Let's get it.
Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father, which is in heaven.
Right there. He who confesses me before me. You think because you say the word Jesus before me, the next words I'm waiting to hear come out of your mouth is what I'm listening for is chapter and verse. You know the Lord, and you know His Spirit has been here since 1914 already. This is your witness. And you know Joseph Smith, the two-stick. Oh, this is a moment. You have to listen for which Christ they talking about.
Right.
Just because you say the name, I'm waiting to hear what words you speak of.
Right. But he told you when he was going to come in his name, deceiving many.
Right.
Right? So just because somebody's saying Christ, or even in the Hebrew rendering, Yahweh, whatever.
Right.
That's what we talk about.
Listen for the doctrine.
David correct said he was Christ, didn't he?
Right.
And now how he Christ and got on a pair of glasses? How in the hell is he going to heal the blind?
I wouldn't heal the blind. I wouldn't.
Okay, bring your eyes over here.
I would at least expect the Christ to have 20/20 vision.
At least.
Which brings us to
How he going to unlock the door when he can't see it without his glasses on? How he got the keys to heaven? But we got people that believe it, still believe it to this day, just like there's groups over there still believe Benjamin Carter is the Messiah over there in the desert. But it said the land of Canaan. He's over there in Dimona. That's Mount Seir. That's Esau's land.
Bus drive.
In the Dimona desert with a leaking nuclear site over there. It's a wonder they ain't glowing at night. So now when somebody, you mention to somebody you're an Israelite, you say of the gospel of Christ. Not them scoundrels here on earth, because the script tells us, if you see the sun or the moon in the sky, and there's a human being on earth calling himself Christ, he's an impostor. I don't know what miracles he do, because Christ said, I'm going to knock the sun and the moon out. I'm going to get rid of they gods that they worship first, and then I will be the light of the world. Just like in Genesis 1:1, it says there was a light there first. The sun and the moon weren't created to the fourth day.
That's right.
So what is that light in Genesis 1:1? The light of the firmament. That's Christ. So we have to understand these lights. That if you see that sun and the moon, that's all you have to do, take a peek up, night or day. Who's saying that Jesus? I'm telling you, man, he filled my bank account up. I'm telling you, it was zero in there yesterday. It was -0. And then I got -0. Satan knew that, right?
Verse 33. But whosoever shall deny me before men,
right,
him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven.
You don't want that. Let's get back to these scripts, y'all. Talk about the angel of the Lord. We got about 20 good minutes, y'all. We're going to close out. Because we are in day 4 of the Feast of Tabernacles, by the way.
Okay. Verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
What?
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Yeah.
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
That's what the Christ says.
That's what Christ is saying. That's in red in y'all Bible.
Verse 35. For I have come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother.
So what you think Christ doing? Just causing problems in the household? No, he's saying my word's gonna cause variance. Because a father, if he ain't been in this word, the son get in it. The father ain't never read Ezekiel 18, the word says if a father did these all wicked, and then a son turned from the wickedness of his father and do righteousness, should not that son be counted righteous? And his father wicked? So a father may not want to hear that. Boy, I'm the one, you came from me. How in the hell you gonna tell me something about God?
God.
G-A-W-B. What's wrong with you? You get beside yourself. Ain't no holler back at your daddy, but just let him know. Daddy, on this, the playing field is like this. It's equal. I can't save you, you can't save me. Every tub got to sit on his bottom. I'm not going to disrespect you, but the bottom line is you ain't going to tell me tomfoolery either, according to this, and my soul is on the line. So we have to understand that, but never no line of disrespect, because we still got the 4th commandment, honor thy mother and thy father.
But following Christ will bring variance in the household.
It's going to bring variance.
Which brings us to verse 36.
What it say?
A man's foe should be they of his own household.
Y'all see that? Give me foes, Malachi Dictionary. It says a man's foe is going to be they of his own household. A foe is an enemy. Understand this, y'all. If we got 10 enemies, 9 of them look just like you.
Talk to him.
7 of them, you look in the mirror. That's 7 of them. The other 2 may be a companion or somebody else. That nigga. But this one, that number 10, you can't deal with him. Christ got to deal with him. He's the ruler. He's the master of this land. You ain't gonna overpower him. Because if you overpower him, ain't no need for Christ coming back. That's why the Black Panthers didn't work. That's why the Nation of Islam ain't gonna work. How you gonna go with a host of pop guns and they sitting on 18,000 nuclear warheads or a Black Hawk helicopter? Right. What you gonna do? And then we threw anyway on January 2nd because we see all that stuff January 3rd. What a time out I need to run to Walmart.
Verse 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
Read it again.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
Y'all understand that? If you love your father more than Christ, you're not worthy. I mean, if you put trust in your parents like they are the savior of mankind, you're not worthy of Christ. They told Christ, your mother outside, your mother and your daddy out there looking for you. Your brother. What did he say? Who was my mother? Who was my brother? Those who will to do with my father. That's my mother and our brother. He ain't never said put nobody above anybody else. He said order. First apostle, then this, and then that. But we know how he chastised Peter and called him Satan, so that's let you know apostle ain't above you. If he called Peter Satan in the very next breath, Peter like, our Lord, I go with you to the death. He said, get behind me, Satan. You savor the things of me. That's right. So we have to understand, because you got an order, don't mean you above the brother.
And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it. And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it.
So we have to understand that clearly why it said the enemy. And see, Christ changed the law because he said he was going to change the law. In that aspect where it says, hate your enemies, Christ said, love your enemies. Why? Because the enemies have become the foes of our own household. See, what you hate the Iraqi for, what you hate this for and every day, I can't stand them niggas next door. You want to barbecue again? Them niggas next door. You warned with your own people. We tell this to another nation, they don't have no problem believing we the Israelites do that. Who the problem with? Boy, you ain't no damn Jew.
I'm glad you're finding God.
So you're glad you're finding God, but
you just took somebody else's
Jews over there in Jerusalem.
How about this one? You've been like that ever since you've been hanging with those people.
So y'all have to understand, this is why he says love your enemies, because we have become our own enemies. We say adult each other, kill each other, we jack each other. We ain't doing no jacking out there unless you get just a crazy spell and some dependent drug you on drive you to commit that act out there. But it ain't happening like it's doing down on the Fairground Park. It ain't happening like it's driving on Oak Bridge. How we killing each other.